Welcome and thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. We're entering in the very beginning of Aquarius. So we're going into some of that word brotherhood, the thought of what can I do as opposed to how do I feel about something? What can I do about something? How can I support rather than help someone? Supporting them is teaching them how to walk forward when they've been standing and walking in circles and not knowing what to do. If I was going to help them, I would grab them and sit them on my lap and go, "Oh, you poor person." No, I don't want to help them. I want to support them in helping themselves. What do they need? And I can ask, what do you need? What do you need? What do you want? How do you want to get that? So I think about that eventually we're going to get more into that, more of the supportive type of working with one another as opposed to the helping. I don't want to do it for them because what does that do? It leaves them thinking less of themselves and more of me. And I don't want that. I have enough to think of me. I don't need that. So yeah,
Absolutely.
it's simplistic what I'm saying, yet it truly is. I think we complicate things to the nth degree out there, and it makes it so much more difficult.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do have one other question.
Sure.
So we are entering into the fall, the autumn of this year of 2023. And I know that you have insights as far as astrologically what's going on and your wisdom about spirituality, life in general. What could you share with us for as the fall comes that might help us move through it in a way that is easier and more beneficial? Because I think there's so much struggle in the world right now. And for me, I don't want to watch it. These zombie movies, I'm just like, and I've gotten to the point where I've become so sensitive to it.
Right.
I don't want to see it. I'll listen to the news for 5 minutes in the morning to get it, and I'm done.
You're done. Yeah.
So, what are your insights or suggestions as we enter into the fall of 2023?
Okay, you're the boss of you. Number one, you don't want to listen to that stuff. Like you said, turn it off. Navigating the world without a compass, internal compass, is difficult. So that internal compass is all about the gratitude of who we are today and why I am the way I am today, what I want, and I'm the boss of all that. I know I simplify things, yet why complicate them? Why go off into some direction where what you're saying is so complicated half the world doesn't know what you're talking about? I don't need that. I'm not a guru. I'm not some, head of some big organization that is all about spirituality and all this and that. I'm not. I'm a regular housewife and mother, and lived a life of hard knocks and realized that those hard knocks, a lot of that was me. I chose to come here under the guise of being Gemini. I chose this life for a purpose. Now I have to figure out what the purpose is. If we don't stop blaming one another for our own, lives and our own decisions, it's all for nothing. So I just think that people, they're waking up, and they're waking up to a world that is changing. And it's not all changing the way they think it should, the shoulds in there. So if they want their life different, then live life different. If you want apples and someone keeps giving you oranges, give them back the orange and go get an apple. Stop blaming everybody else. It's just, we can't use everybody else's life so that we can get what we want out of life. That's our own job. It's not someone else's job to do that. I really think that life is going to change drastically, but it's going to take a good long time. We'll be gone by the time brotherhood and great friendship and the thought of everyone's well-being comes to pass. That's going to take a long time for us all to get there. And People get mad and upset because other people are in need and they don't want to support that need. Eventually maybe they'll be the one in need and they'll understand why this happens. It doesn't always happen because you're not wanting to work or you don't want to learn, or it's not always about that. Things happen in life that people need support, and they need help too in ways. I'm not going to take a woman in a wheelchair and tell her to cross herself across the street. I'll push her across the street and make sure she doesn't get hit. So that would be helping her. Yet if there's somebody who is crying because they don't have a 2023 car, go get a job and make extra money if you want it. I don't even have answers for myself, so I just practice what I preach for the most part.